Boom! Welcome back to the channel, people. It's me, Kev, coming to you with our first Pokemon Scarlet Wi-Fi battle. So as we can see, our opponent out here bringing that heat, that cold sun. But you know we packing too. We got Glimmora for hazards, Serena for hazard removal. We got that Annihilate for annihilate everything, Chiyu, Choice Specs, and the Choice Banded Kovala. That's the name, right? That thingy. I think Game Freak should have done, a little bit more with the design for the water starter. They could have made the man look a little bit more manly, like say the man have a tux, you see me? But anyways, we get straight into this one. Oh, our opponent here is a Kenzie, finding those random people on the Wi-Fi battles. So I lead off with my Garchomp and our opponent leads with Blade, his grass starter. So I'm looking at this thing. It always takes time to get accustomed to the mons of the generation. I had no idea this thing got play rough. And I'm not one of those guys that's gonna sit down there mid-battle, go and showdown and look to see what moves this thing has. So I go for the Sword Glance expecting a U-turn. This man's protein, dog. Protein. And the man hits me with the play rough, and that literally almost takes me out. So now here I'm scratching my head like, whoop, that was definitely a big mistake. So my choice here is I will go into Glimmora. At least then we can get up one layer of hazards, and then we'll see what happens after. So in comes our Glimmora, and our opponent goes to the U-turn. We managed to get up some spikes, toxic spikes with our toxic debris ability. I very much like this ability a lot. I feel like this will definitely be played a lot, especially with the prevalence of switch moves like U-turn. It allows you to, capitalize on that and punish your opponent. So yes, opponent brings in his own Glimmora, and at this stage we're just about to exchange rocks, like have some rocks, I'll take your rocks, it's cool, let's just exchange rocks. So our opponent sets up rocks as we set up rocks as well, and then recover a little bit of HP with our black sludge. I may actually put up this team for rent so that anybody who's willing to try it, will be able to try it, rent it, and use it online. So we switch out here, and I will bring in my Kovala. This because I am figuring, if he goes to the rock move, that's not gonna do anything. He's definitely not gonna go energy ball on me, and he actually goes to the power gem. So that was a good switch on my end. I know this thing has a protect move that does damage, but that's not gonna do anything much. So the spiky shield. So opponent goes to the spiky shield, and I go for the aqua step, and we're about to take a bit of damage from his spiky shield. Next turn I'm gonna just keep going for the aqua step, at least whatever. If he stays in, he dies. If he brings in anything, we get some good damage off. So we take this thing out with our aqua step, and he gets up his own layer of toxic spikes with his toxic debris ability, and we take an early lead, bringing the score to 5-6 or 6-5, whichever way you prefer. At this point I could have probably stayed in and went for the aqua step again and kill this, but I don't know. I would have to calc it, and as I say, I'm not a calcer, so I decided to play it safe and switch out to my own Glimmora, soak up the spikes and soak up whatever damage he decides to dish out. So we absorb the toxic spikes as our opponent goes for the flower trick, which is a very nice move as well. It guaranteed crit. Imagine you run this thing banded, especially with protein. Oh man, this is a weapon. So yes, we recover a little bit with our black sludge as we took, what was that, a good 70% damage. I could go for the spiky shield here, but I'm gonna just let him kill me and then bring in someone else and deal with this blade here. So I go for the sludge wave because I know I will die to the next flower trick, and our opponent takes us out as we get up our second layer of toxic debris. That was the play for me as well because he has no hazard removal other than Torkoal. So the score is now even at 5-5, and I bring in my, Chiyu here. After rocks, I know this thing cannot kill me with a U-turn, so whatever comes in here will definitely go down to a Dark Pulse. So opponent does go for the U-turn. Does a good chunk of damage too as well. That was easily what, 60%? And in comes the Torkoal now. And this thing is definitely not going to like Aspect's Dark Pulse. So in comes the Torkoal, it gets poisoned, takes rock damage, sets up the sun, and dies to Aspect's Dark Pulse. This is like literally a stepping out with a +2. With the ability and the choice specs, it's a crazy combination. So in comes his Charizard now. Staring down this thing, if he's max speed, I don't want to risk the speed tie. So I'ma just sack or Garchomp here. We already have hazards up. Garchomp is definitely not going to be very effective at the amount of HP it has now, so we're just going to sack it off and then bring in Quavalal and take this thing out. So in comes our Garchomp, miraculously surviving the rocks with 2 HP, and then sadly our boy goes down. So the score is now 4-4, and our opponent is looking like he's in a very good position. So our play here now is to go Quavalal, because even though Sun is up, Charizard has no defense. We should be able to take this thing out with the Aqua Jet. So in comes Big Bird's Spanish cousin, and we're just gonna run the Aqua Jet on this thing, run some game from the boy, take him out, real bad man to the thing, Charizard down. So now the score is 3-4. Opponent has 3 mons left, and we're in the lead with 4. So in comes this Bellybot. This is another man that I like the design, but I have not taken the time to look at it to see how it will work in competitive. But anyways, I switch and bring in my Serena here, which is Assault Vest. Serena is a very nice man to run with an Assault Vest. Very nice. So in comes our Serena, and he goes for the Volt Switch. Does little to no damage. Like if you were to look off and then look back, you'd see it's just rocks damage we took. And then he brings in his Blade, Meowscarada. So in comes his Meowscarada, takes that rocks damage and gets badly poisoned, taking a bit of chip from the poisoning as well. So I'm just gonna run a U-turn here because I know this thing is not strong enough to kill me one hit, which it nearly does. But lucky for us, we have max HP and Serena has a lot of natural bulk. So we barely survive, and he U-turns and in comes his Annihilate. This is not looking very good on my end because for me, I already went for the U-turn. So I'm going to now make his Rage Fist double in power. So now if he uses Rage Fist out, he will have a base power of 100. But anyways, bring out Chiyu here because most likely he's not running max speed. Most Annihilates people be running bulky sets and not capitalizing on the advantages of max speed. So I'm just gonna come out here and I'm just go for the overheat. If it stays in, it dies, but he doesn't. He switches to the belly bot, and that thing is not going to like this roasting, it's going to get in the sun. So in it comes, and we just roast that. Just roast it one time. So that's down off the field, and the score is now 4-2. So he has 2 mons left to my 4. Out comes Blade here again. Going to take, some more rocks damage. But here is where it gets tricky now. His Rage Fist is already at double, which is 100 base power. And I need this thing to die so I can get in my Annihilator in front of his Annihilate at the same time so that he cannot take me out with his Rage Fist. Because if he gets hit one more time, his base power is going to be what, 150 if I am correct, and I am going to be at base 50 for Rage Fist. So I come in, I sack my Serena, and he goes for the Flower Trick, just giving me a little bit, one more turn of poison damage. Here we go now out into Annihilate, because I'm going to decide that I'm going to get him by wasting a turn to allow poison damage to rack up. So I'm going to swap in my Annihilate here, and then I'm going to switch it out and sack Chiyu to rocks. So in comes our Annihilate, and then we're just going to switch right back out and sack this Chiyu. So in comes the Chiyu here, and it will die to rocks, and he will get another turn of poison damage. So now that brings the score down to 2-2. He goes to the play rough, but there's no target, and he's going to take some poison damage. He has about one turn left. So here the play is now to go into Big Bird's Spanish cousin and let him take us out, so we have a double down. So he's down, I'm down, where I can now bring in my max speed Annihilate, run the bulk up. I should be able to survive one Rage Fist because I'm running max HP. Survive the one Rage Fist, run the bulk up because I'm sure he's not max speed, and then I'll be able to revenge kill him and take him out for the win. So he takes me out. Big Bird's Spanish cousin actually put in some work. He's a good man. And we have a double down. So down goes the Meowscarada to poison. So now all that's left is just two Annihilates to face off, and we should be able to take him out. So in comes his Annihilate, takes a little bit of rocks damage. Out comes our Annihilate, take a little bit of rocks damage as well. So as I was saying, I'm running max speed. I'm sure he's not running max speed, but he already has his Rage Fist boosted, so I go for the bulk up here, where I will be able to live his Rage Fist. So he goes for the Rage Fist, and as predicted, we survive 29 HP, and that's the end of it. We'll be able to retaliate now with our own Rage Fist, being max speed, it will be faster, and we will take home the win. So, how are you enjoying Pokemon Scarlet and Violet so far? Despite the, obvious bugs and glitches, I've been enjoying it. So look out for battles because more will be coming your way. Good game to my opponent. See ya.